I'm a great believer in democracy, and what I've observed in the countries where I've lived as a scientist is that when there's a grassroots movement, when a lot of people care, that's what politicians pay attention to. These days it seems that politicians pay attention to the hundreds of emails and phone calls they get, much more than any pointy-headed scientist like me going to see them and showing them beautiful pictures of 52 years worth of measurements. So as a citizen, I'm kind of pleased with that. As a scientist, I'm a little frustrated because I think we've been doing this all our lives. But I think the reality is that, politicians tell me I can't do anything until I get re-elected or until I get elected. Probably re-elected is true. And so I think direct action is pretty important. I was meeting last week with a bunch of international lawyers of the high seas, and they're thrilled with direct action because they say that's the only way that these issues get into the legal community. There is no framework for governing our seas. We were talking about island nations like Kiribati. After they finally disappear permanently under the ocean from sea level rise, is there still a 200-mile nautical limit where those people are able to have an exclusive economic zone? These are the kind of bizarre formal legal issues that we have to deal with. And I don't think there's any driver for governments or the UN or UNESCO or any people to consider this unless they get motivation from citizens. So I'm a big fan of direct action. I prefer it to be polite and nonviolent. But it's really something that's got to come from the people.